And Rob, a lot of really great storylines this weekend. Josh Allen trying to rise, right? We see the talent, we see the accomplishments, but can he get over that giant in the AFC? The last 3 years dominated the AFC, or at least the last two, and 3 years got into the AFC Championship, and that would be Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. There's Matt Stafford facing Tom Brady, but Stafford, can he win a big game on the road? You look at that defense, you look at those running backs, you look at those receivers, and they all check the boxes as legit. What about the quarterback? That's the question there. And Matt Stafford, Rob, he had his down points this year, but if he's able to get them to the conference championship, if he's able to get them to the Super Bowl, then all those who said he'd be the MVP, they're going to lead the Rams to the Super Bowl. I mean, they look a little bit better. So that's a storyline.
I was just saying,
Tennessee and Cincinnati
look a little bit better, right? Right.
Yeah, a little bit better. But look, if he wins the Super Bowl, it looks a lot better. But Joe Burrow in the AFC, the young stud. Rob, nobody. Tell him you won't play. Tell him you're sitting out. You can't go to Cincinnati.
We never bought into that. We're like, hey, let's not make it. Cincinnati might not have won a playoff game, but they went 7 times. So let's with the same coach.
And before that, Rob, you know they were
they went to the Super Bowl twice.
Been this joke franchise. Absolutely.
Right.
And that if you're a winner, I mean, you know if you're a first round pick, you're not going to a great team. So he took up the challenge, Rob, and he is doing well, and we'll see how well he can do and how far he can go in just his second year. And then I think the biggest story of them all, bigger than Tom Brady, bigger than Patrick Mahomes, bigger than Matt Stafford, is Aaron Rodgers. And Rob, we all know, awesome player, tremendous individual career, and has had success, has won. But he's only won one Super Bowl, only been to one Super Bowl. And that was 11 years ago. And he's had some playoff failures. And Rob, he's going to win his second MVP. I mean, we all be shocked if he doesn't win his second straight MVP. His 4th MVP award ever. Second only to the great Peyton Manning. If he is able to lead them to the Super Bowl this year with the home field advantage throughout, then there's Rob. He's right there with any quarter. I mean, Brady obviously has distanced himself with the 7 Super Bowls. But after that, you say Aaron Rodgers, you can put his name next to anybody's. But if he loses, Rob, what in the world will they say about Aaron Rodgers? And he knows it. I don't know, Rob G, do we have sound? But he knows that his legacy, he's not riding on it. He's a Hall of Famer. He's an all-time great. We all know that. But he even admitted himself that these are the moments your legacy is built on. And he acknowledges that. So he's got to get it done. So, Rob, what do you feel like? I mean, for Aaron Rodgers, to me, again, the biggest story of the playoffs. And what do you think he's going to do, and what do you think is riding on this for him?
I don't know. Like when you talk about legacy, of course. If he had never won, I think it's bigger for him if he's never won. So you can't say the guy.
Absolutely, if he never won.
If he had never won, I think it's totally different in where he is. It's not like he never won. He was the Super Bowl MVP, beat the Steelers. You know, we could go on and on. But sure, should there have been another trip or two? Absolutely. The onside kick in Seattle. We could talk about this, talk about that. So he knows what's in front of him. I don't think there's anything where he doesn't understand that. And he's in a situation, too, where I think this is the best team he's ever had. I really believe better than the 15-1 team, because they're adding 3 Pro Bowlers who didn't even play. Won 13 games without 3 Pro Bowlers. I mean, who can do that? That's pretty incredible. So those guys are coming back to be a part of what they do. I think this team can win in different ways. They run the football. When they went to Arizona in the desert against a 7-0 team without their 3 best wide receivers, guess what? They ran the football. He threw when he had to. They won that game. So I've seen that side of the Packers. The Packers defense is opportunistic. I think they are have not lost a game where they've gotten a turnover, an interception. So they make plays. They beat Kyler Murray with an interception in the end zone to win the game. Those are the things. When I look at the team, they got 2 running backs, not one. They got 2. They run the ball well.
If he loses, what do you think the story is, the narrative?
It just depends. If the defense gives up 45 points, I don't think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. I think it'll be Aaron Rodgers again. Has been on a team that gave up 45 points in the playoffs, which has happened 5 of his losses where they've given up, 38 or more, whatever it is. I think in Tom Brady's career, it's happened 1 time. He's had it happen 5 times. So it depends on how he plays and what happens. Last year, the game turned when the defense gave up that touchdown at the end of the half. I mean, that
against
changed
Tampa?
the entire. Yeah,
but he wasn't
Tampa.
doing nothing.
No, but I'm saying that turned the game right there. That turned the game. That was, you can't give that up at the end of the half in a game that I think was 14-10 at the time. But anyway,
it was.
Yeah, it's one of those. So everything's on the table for him. If he does win and move on to a Super Bowl or even wins the Super Bowl, which a lot of people like the Packers and they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl, if they do, get it done, it will be huge for him because to win back-to-back MVPs at this age, and then to finally get back to the Super Bowl and win another one. And it was the start of Tom Brady's 4 more actually, was after he had a 9-year where he didn't win. He didn't win a Super Bowl in 9 years. So could that flip and turn the switch on Aaron Rodgers? I'm just giving you a hypothetical. They win. They say, we're trading Jordan Love. You're here the next 3 or 4 years. We give you a contract. We got a good team. We're going to pay these guys. We're going to keep this team together and try to make a run for the next 2 or 3 years. And I'm just all hypothetical. They wind up winning another one, and now he's 3-0 in the Super Bowl. He wins. He's won two MVPs in the last 3 years, and all of a sudden, with all the other records and accolades he has, you start to look at him, you could push him closer to Joe Montana. You know what I mean in that conversation?
Closer, he could challenge Joe Montana.
You know what I mean?
He wins
right.
3. Yeah, no. And that's the thing where even if he loses, he's still got time. I mean, time is fading. Time is wasting.
Yeah.
But he still would have time. It wouldn't totally be over for him. But I think it is a little more dire than you. I do think even if he plays well, Rob, he just has to win. I don't care if he throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and they lose 35-30. That's bad. You won 13 games. You won home field advantage. You got beat by a wild card quarterback by Jimmy Garoppolo if they lose. He's just got to win. Even if he plays poorly, he's just got to win. And I say that because, yes, you're right. We all know their defense has not been great in a lot of these playoff losses, but neither has the offense. We had Greg Jennings, friend of the show, Renaissance man, and former teammate of Aaron Rodgers, who won the Super Bowl. The only Super Bowl that Rodgers won and went to, Greg Jennings was one of his top receivers. And Greg even said, look, yes, the defense gave up a lot of points, but Rodgers also didn't do much in the first halves of those games, early in those games, and he helped put the defense in some bad situations. And Rob, when you look at it, 2020 against Tampa Bay, you mentioned that game. They're down 21-10 at halftime and 28-10 in the third quarter. Rodgers got to put up more than 10 points in the first half. The year before against San Francisco, they lose 37-20. They're down 27-0 at halftime. Sure, the defense deserves to be taken to the woodshed for giving up 27 first half points. But how about the offense scoring a few? Nothing. That's also on him. You go way back to 2016 when they lost 44-21 to Atlanta in the playoffs. Yeah, 44 points. You can't have it, defense. How we going to win with that? But they were down 24-0 at halftime, 31-0 in the third quarter. Some of that's on Rodgers for not putting up points. And there's other instances as well where he hasn't gotten it done. So he is a large part of this. He's not innocent in all of these losses. And this isn't an NFC title game. But I don't understand what it is about NFC title games with him. But that's where he really has struggled. He, like you said, Rob, he was great in that Super Bowl win over Pittsburgh. But that NFC title game, he was bad. Two interceptions, no touchdowns. At division round or earlier rounds, he's not bad. But that NFC title game, 5 of them, lost 4 straight. He's got 9 touchdowns and 8 picks. The guy that never throws interceptions. He's the best ever at not turning the ball over from that position. And yet when they get an NFC title game, he's coughing it up like it's a hot potato. And so there's a lot on the line. Like you said, obviously his legacy is set as an all-time great and Hall of Famer. But we nitpick, Rob. We always say this with the all-time greats. And this is a big nit to pick on Rodgers if he gets beat on Sunday.